Okay, I'm just gonna start. Oh.
It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Just...
Hey everyone, welcome back to City Thots Podcast. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
They just got done with like the most tomfoolery I've ever seen for like 20 minutes straight.
Some shenanigans.
Just some shenanigans, and I had to really rein them in to start this episode.
I don't know how this happened. I feel like, can we even tell the story what we were just talking about?
No. That's not safe for work. I'm sorry. We can't.
Not safe for work.
It's not. This is work.
Yeah. Tell them, Google Madam Web, the movie.
That's it.
Just Google Madam Web,
stop.
the movie. News.
That's very vague of you.
That's
News.
That's news.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Besides that, how are you guys doing?
It's been chilling. Been pretty good. Nothing too crazy. Just the usual. Get a routine. Starting a new job soon. So
Yeah, everyone say congrats to Ivan for getting a new job.
Let's go. The mullet's gone. Got the corporate hairstyle now.
Oh yeah, I was wondering. I was like, something's different with your hair.
You didn't notice?
I lost
No,
my flow.
I knew you cut it, but I didn't notice the mullet part.
Yeah, it looks
until
really
now.
good.
Yeah,
It looks
it
really
does.
good.
But I feel like usually the mullet's like just hidden behind my head.
Yeah.
So
When
unless you see me
turn.
from the side, yeah.
Yeah, true.
Or I let it
You
get
guys are
like,
switching.
unruly.
Yeah, I'm obtaining mullet.
The mullet.
Yeah, more power for me.
More mullet, more
I don't know about
madness.
more power.
More mullet, more madness.
Mullet madness.
I'm gonna make a
Mullet
movie.
madness.
Okay, love that. All right, now that we've got that out of the way,
How are you? How have you been?
I'm doing pretty good. Nothing's new.
I know. I feel like we've been pretty tame.
Yeah,
like,
we have been pretty tame.
Like you're on 70 medium.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. So like usually our degeneracy or our good stories come out when we're
Speak for yourself.
or doing things. No.
Hey, me, the good times are always rolling, you know? And everyone shakes their head. They're like,
I was
no,
like,
you've changed, Sean.
What
You've
are the
been
good
fine."
times?
Sean,
Please.
for the majority of the time now, it's like work, go home, sleep, gym, work. But
That's like
but
a
when you
regular
s-
person.
Yeah, like a regular person, which is good. But when you get the juice in him,
The juice.
the juice.
The juice. I'm doing a juice cleanse.
Yeah, nobody
so
wants.
No more juice.
Yeah, nobody wants the juice in Sean. Anyways, I was thinking for this episode we could do more like kind of story time-esque content, which I don't know. It could be problematic, but it could be really fun at the same time. So hopefully it leans the latter. But I was thinking we could tell stories about like I have a few prompts of mosts. So I have a few different prompts of like your most blank story.
It's gonna be
And
dangerous.
yeah, it's gonna be dangerous because we've done a lot of dumb shit. And by we,
Speak for yourselves.
I mean them.
Dumb is subjective. Okay.
Okay, it's pretty objective in my opinion for what you've done that was stupid.
You judge a goldfish on how well it climbs a tree, it's pretty dumb. But if you judge on how well it swims. Just saying.
We're gonna move on from that.
that's a real that's Einstein.
philosophical, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
saying.
think was that Einstein who said
I
that.
think it is Einstein actually. Don't quote me on that. But it is a real quote.
Yeah, I've heard the quote before. I've heard the quote
Somebody
before.
quote him on that.
I'm just saying.
I really hope it's not Einstein. though.
Yeah, it's like Gandhi.
Someone-
It's Dr. Seuss.
Okay, where do I want to start here? Pick a number.
On the count of 3.
Are we both picking a number?
No, one of you pick a number. I haven't picked a number.
I picked the number 3.
I was gonna
Oh,
say 3.
Yeah, I
dang.
stole the
Okay.
Trey.
Okay, this one. What's the simpiest thing you've ever done?
Simpias?
Ivan's a major simp, too.
Simp?
This is actually good because I think we've got like 3 different levels of simpiness.
Yeah.
Sean is negative.
Sean is negative
Yeah.
simp.
Sean is negative.
I feel like you're like behind the closed doors.
Yeah,
simp.
I'm like a closeted
You're a
simp.
closet simp. I'm
And
like
Ivan's like a love bomb simp at the beginning, and then he's not simpy at all after.
I'm Simp City.
Yeah, Sim City. There we go.
It's changed my ways. I'm hard. I'm tough. Who wants to go first?
You.
Yeah,
No.
definitely.
You.
Why
It started off
me?
with the softest and then moved to the hardest.
I feel like
you know?
we could go hard, and then soft.
I don't really.
Go hard.
I'm trying to think. What I have is it's not really simpy at all. I think
Sure.
it was like a nice gesture when my girlfriend used to live on like campus in university, I remember I would just go over there sometimes and like hang out, and then one time
I would see her.
Sometimes I would say hello.
no, but I went over, I hung out with her, and then she went to class, and I had like a bunch of sticky notes, and I wrote her little notes and like put it on all her different things, and then she was finding them for weeks. I'd put it on her like hair dryer and like random things, and it was just little caring notes. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cute, actually.
I can't even imagine you
that.
doing that.
Yeah.
Plus, he didn't drive back then, so this man would
Damn, this
bus
guy was venturing out of town.
like an hour. Actually, transit to
it was a long
UBC
time.
is like an hour and a bit.
hour and a half.
So you went there with a pen and notepad. You're like,
well, I didn't show up
I'm
unexpectedly for this. Like, we were hanging out first, and then she went to class, and then I left her place.
So it was definitely her notepad.
I was about to say, you went to her school so much. Like, she don't need these.
She's like, what happened to all my sticky notes? Now I have all those
She
useless
failed
letters.
all of her exams.
She couldn't tab any of her textbooks.
I just took her notes and ripped them into pieces, and then wrote over them. Actually,
He scribbled over and was like, I love you.
Imagine how annoyed would you be when you need like a blank sticky note to tab your notes, and you just go, you flip to a page that says, I love you. Like, I didn't need this. I need a blank one. You flip another one. Like, I'm thinking of you. Like, can you not?
Stop.
That'd be
Okay, that's kind of cute.
I think you might beat me,
That's
honestly.
no way.
Really?
No way. Whatever you say, if it's not what I'm thinking, I'm exposing you. Go ahead.
Wait. You go next. Now I gotta think.
No, you go ahead.
I don't know what I've done.
you know what you did.
You know what you did?
John Tucker. What did I do? Oh my god. Okay. Damn.
Wait, this was the hint. Hold on.
I guess that's pretty simpy.
That was the simplest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
That's pretty simpy.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
You do.
That's pretty simpy. I forgot about that. It was tucked
sorry.
away. Oh, you're next on the editing. For everyone who watched the last one, you thought Sean was the target?
No, 2 months ago. 2. Oh, 3. Whatever.
I don't know. Anyway,
We're
Sean did it a
confused.
lot, but now you're next.
Yeah, oopsies.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that one's up there. That one is like, yeah. Is that the simpiest though?
Someone fill me in on what this is. I'm like out of the
Listening is
loop.
like, what?
I'm like,
Okay, I'll say this one, but I think there may be
Okay, great. Let's do
contingency
2.
for a tie or no. But once upon a time, Ivan used to have feelings and liked a girl, and he heard that she's never been asked to be someone's Valentine before. So a wee Ivan. Honestly, when I say wee, I think I was like 23.
Was it Valentine's? I thought it was a girlfriend situation, but no.
Oh, she was my girlfriend.
Oh no,
But it was
I
like
thought
about-
you were asking to be a girlfriend.
No.
Oh.
I think they used
That's
to
way
candles
worse.
twice. Candles used to be my move.
You're like, let me whip
out
these
myself.
out.
Yeah. I think I did it for
Okay.
prom, and then I did it for. I think I did it 3 times. It wasn't-
Same person?
No. It was prom was just like for like whatever. It's just prom, and then I think my first girlfriend I swear I did something with candles, but the third time was definitely the grandest because that was like 300 candles from IKEA.
Dude, how do you light?
I had to get
300?
4 people to help me and someone to distract her at the same time.
so wait, where did you set this up?
Okay, so it was so my ex at the time never been asked for Valentine's Day, so I was like, let me make her first time special, you know? That was the intent. So it was super late at night, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna come over, but I gotta do something first. I'll be with blah blah blah, and I got her cousin to like distract her, and her cousin lived close by, and pretty much I just called 3 of her other friends. I pre-bought these candles, and it was in front of her. It's on her lawn, in front of her house, and where her room
Her parents'
situated.
home?
No, I mean her parents were like in their room usually all the time, like typical like Chinese parents, just like
Like
mind their
imagine
business.
you look out the window and there's just fire.
So that's what. It's just a blaze.
You're like towing the
300
line
candles is
behind,
a
like
lot.
romantic gesture and like grand arson.
She just looks away, and it's just me running away. As I could. I mean, like I pulled off, but it was hard. It was like windy. You know, it's February, right?
Yeah.
What did it say? Did it say, will you be my Valentine?
It said, "Be my Valentine."
That's a
That's
lot
so
of
many
letters.
It was huge. So she lived like I guess it's for people who are from Vancouver, or if you're not, you can Google it. Just look up Vancouver special. Like that's what our houses look like here. So she had that. She had like a front lawn, and it took about 300 candles. I remember I bought 450, and then just in case.
How much did that cost?
Oh, it was like $30.
Oh,
It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. Candles.
Were they like tea?
They were the teeny ones, like the 150 packs were like
That's
this.
a fucking fire hazard. Those are low to the ground.
Yeah, oh
the
yeah.
grass is like wee.
I was like, does this lawn need to be trimmed or else it's not gonna work.
You put a tarp down.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got her cousin to distract her to like not look at the window while everyone was setting up, but it was actually kind of a gong show. It sounds romantic now.
Sounds like a gong show.
Okay,
It
so
sounds like a gong.
So this is the story. So on paper, it was very like, okay, distractor, light up candles, got 3-4 of the boys come out. It said, "Be my Valentine," right?
The boys didn't chirp you like crazy.
Because I've done. This is the
shocked.
third time I'm doing that. They're like,
Here
we
it's candle
go
time.
again.
All right, no problem.
yeah. But the hectic thing was I kept lagging, delaying it because what happened was, one of the guys that I was hanging out at the time with, he was like, "Oh, I'll come help," and this guy was a little shady, and so he was driving without a license.
Oh.
And he got into an accident. And it was a whole, so he's like, "You need to come help me." And I was like, "Oh, no." But I'm like, I'm here trying to light these candles. But I'm like, do I help to hold me or do I leave? But it was like that's really not okay.
Dang.
Yeah, this was not okay.
Yeah.
And then we're also past the statutory limitations, so I could tell this story. But yeah, so I was like, in my bro face, I was like, I gotta help the bro. He's gonna get arrested. So I was like midway setting up, and I was like, "Okay, you guys continue the work here."
Yeah.
I gotta
Right back. You kept them to do it. That's crazy.
I laughed part way because like,
That's
oh
crazy.
no.
My homie needs me.
Honestly, that night I remember it was really bad too because the only way I had to lie to be like it was on me. I drove the car.
Oh.
And then it was like, which is also really bad.
Yeah, no.
And obstruction
For
of
legal
justice.
reasons, this never happened.
Yeah.
It was actually a joke.
it was actually
Big joke.
this is not real.
Yeah. Everything is a lie. The candles, though, those are real.
Yeah. But anyways,
I'm just thinking of this story. Why couldn't you have written like "Be Mine" or something smaller than
Or,
Valentine?
I love you. Like
Yeah.
literally
I don't know.
a heart.
A heart. Yeah, exactly.
I just thought, "Be my Valentine."
That's the
Anyways,
longest.
long story short, I just said, "No, this is not right." I was like, I'm not. I can't do this." And then it's situated. Long story short, situated out where he got bailed out by someone else. So I was like, "Okay, perfect." Like,
Hands clean.
no obstruction of justice. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just here. I'm like, I was there to be like, "Hey, you good? Okay." I
gotta go.
I can't do this for you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
This is actually really bad.
Gotta go
Yeah.
meet
Yeah.
my Valentine.
That's good.
Anyway.
That's good. You have limits, you know? You know?
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I gotta go. And then I drove all the way back.
Damn.
And I came back, and luckily they're like, "Hey, we lit everything." I'm like,
Wow.
"It's perfect." But it took longer because there was like less people. So the whole time I was texting my ex, I'm like, "Hey, I'll be there." And she was like, "I gotta go to sleep. I'm tired." Like, this was probably
Did she love it?
She did at the point at the end of it all.
That's good.
She was mad. It was like a 3-hour ordeal lighting candles
I'm dead.
and try to save Buddy, but yeah, no, it came out. She's like, "Oh my gosh," she cried. It was cute, and it was like cool in the moment, but I realized it was like 3 hours of work.
Yeah, for
like
like
10
30
minutes.
seconds
Should have
of
just
glory.
written it in gasoline on the lawn, just light it up. You're like, yeah.
Hurry, come out.
Come out now. I'm serious.
That actually would have been a little bit faster, but I just like instead of using the candle to spell the word, I just outlined the words with gasoline. So when I lit everything on fire, it'd just be the
whole
dry patch of grass that'd be my Valentine.
Yeah, no. Then,
Anyways.
yeah. Okay, well, now I want to know your second, but potentially your most simpy story, if you think there was one that combats that.
I don't know, like there's so many. I don't know if they're simpy. It's just
We'll be the judge of that.
Yeah. Speak your truth.
like I don't know, like same girl. At the time, I just made more money than her. She was like really figuring out her life. So I remember she's like tried on this jacket at H&M. We're like super young, right? And she's like, "Oh, I like it, but I can't really afford it." So I'd be like, we're walking around the mall. I'd be like, she put it away. We keep walking around the mall. I'd be like, BRB, I gotta go do something real quick. I'd just run back to the H&M and just buy it for her and then surprise it for her later.
You think that's simpier than
Like
the
do that.
candles?
I don't know. Like, I'm just like thinking like I was
like
just
grand gesture. You know what I mean?
grand
I
gesture.
just imagine Ivan on a date. He's like, I gotta go. Just disappears.
I'm a Batman. The city needs me.
Comes back with an H&M bag. Like, hey, babe.
I don't
It's
know.
like, that's where you went?
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's the candles are probably the grandest gesture.
Yeah, that's fair.
Everything else was just like, oh, I like this is something you wanted, or like
So I didn't know about that candle time, but I
Yeah,
helped
there
him out with another candle time when he asked someone to prom.
can't believe
Yeah.
And from my perspective, not being like involved in the thing, it was a gong show. we were lighting this long path. And we would try to light it, and by the time we lit the end, the beginning ones would blow out.
Stop.
And then the tea candles are only so small, so there's only a little bit of like wax. So
Wax,
eventually
yeah.
they burn out, and then they just become a pile of wax. And then the wax, all the melted wax, was just getting all over everyone because we were trying to move the candles afterwards. So we would just have like wax down our arms and on our
dead.
shoes. Oh, it was a gong show.
and then I had like our friend come out of the bush with the guitar to play a song. Yeah, it was like
The bush.
our one friend
Yeah.
would take. There were two best friends, so she would pretend to be like, "Oh, let's go on a jog," while we lit a candle path to her house. And we're trying to time it. We're like, "How long are you guys running for? Like, how much time we got?"
Dead.
And then she would do her 45-minute jog, come back, and just people who were lined up. We would pop out with giant cards.
Yeah, so it was the
Wow.
one walkway, and we were
Yeah.
stationed along
I
the
remember
walkway
that.
with cards like, "Will you go to prom with me?" And then Ivan was waiting at the end,
very end.
and then there
dead.
was someone, just like one of our friends, playing guitar, and they're like walking them down this, and we're just popping out of bushes with signs,
Yeah.
and like the
Damn.
ground is covered in wax and slightly on fire.
Yeah.
Everyone's like sweating. Like,
I cannot believe that after that time, you choose to do candles 2 more times.
I think it was 3 more times. Not gonna lie, but the second, like with my first ex, I think I did candles too, but it wasn't as grand. If I'm trying to remember, I think it was super small.
Damn.
I think it's because she lived in an apartment, so I can only do it in like a
You gotta
no,
get a
and
new
now
special
now
move,
that you've
man.
put it on the internet, you can never do candles again.
yeah.
They'll
more
know.
candles.
They'll literally
I gotta
know.
get more creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I respect the effort.
It was
I respect the
effort.
though.
Okay. It was.
Yeah.
No more. I remember back then you guys were always like, you're setting the bar too high. I was like,
Yeah, no, I'm like, what are you
I
gonna
was
do
like,
for your proposal?
yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
I can top this now. I'm like, I
That's
should have
it.
never done
That's
this. I don't regret it. It's just, yeah, young Ivan was just all about grand gestures.
Okay.
And fire.
And fire. I was the avatar.
Yeah.
Candle. Fire.
Okay, yeah, mine's more similar to Sean's. Like, I feel like I had like a journal type thing that I was making like entries into, and I envisioned one day like giving it to this person after like years and years of having like entries of like how I felt about them and like certain things that happened.
These are all like positive things, or these
Yeah.
okay.
Or
okay.
like even just like, oh, like we had an argument, but like this is how we came out of it, and like whatever. Like it was like it depended on the day or how I was feeling. But I was like, in my head, I was like, wow, I'm gonna have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these entries, and then one day when we're married, I'll give it to them and be like, oh my god, you'll see it from like week 1 of our like dating or whatever. Yeah, we broke up in like 6 months.
Yeah. You know,
It's a really empty book.
I was like, do you want this or no?
I tried doing that too, but with like photos. I would take photos on my phone and then eventually like I'd print them out and like then write things. My issue was I kept forgetting to take photos. Eventually I had like 3.
shit.
I'm like,
Yeah.
damn it.
You know what's interesting though is I don't know if it's because when we get older, we're just like, I don't know, lazier. We have less energy. But I also think there's something where you do more of those gimmicks when it's like less serious. Like in my opinion, like I almost feel like I was overcompensating by doing all these like kind of gimmicky things versus just being in like a healthy, loving, stable relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. It could just be an age thing too.
Yeah.
Well, I guess with experience, you see that it's not all like
Yeah.
movies, like romanticized, and it's actually about like compatibility.
Just have some conversation.
Yeah, I was so Tumblr coded back then. I was like, oh, Wong Fu Productions, Tumblr. I'm like, this is it. This
is the way.
winning
This is how
formula.
you-
This is
yeah,
how
get
this is how
love.
you gotta do it. Now I'm like, nah.
Yeah, now
That's-
I'm like, hey, I really appreciate you.
I appreciate. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. And that,
It's like a accumulation of the small things,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
always about the
Yeah,
grand
yeah.
gestures.
for sure.
No, I agree. Plus, it's like, yeah, as you get older, everyone's so busy. Like, imagine trying to time out candles again. Someone's like, I'm tired.
I wouldn't be able to do that even at that age. Like, that was too much.
Oh, I think I had time. I had time.
Okay. That's great. Okay, next.
You're outed here. I'm out here lighting the world on fire. You got, like,
no, literally, I was writing them in my phone, being like, "Oh, I know a good one for them," and then I would have to think of my own. Okay, the next one, and I know Sean's answer already. So if you need help, I got you.
Oh no!
What is the pettiest thing you've ever done?
The pettiest thing I've ever done. You have something already ready for me?
Yeah, because you told the story recently, not on the podcast.
Am I petty? I can be petty.
Laundry.
Nothing sparking here.
Japan.
Oh, that's pretty petty. That's
okay, yeah. It was really petty.
Okay, you start.
Yeah, so it must have been, when did we go on a Japan trip?
Like
2016?
2017?
Around like 2016, yeah. So
Something like that.
it was a trip. We're all in like our 20s. We're just big first Asia trip. It's a group of like 8 guys, and we're just going to be stupid
Degenerates.
and have fun, have a good time. We were going through Japan first for 8 days, and then Hong Kong after for 8 days, and then after towards the end of the Japan trip, we were all trying to do laundry. So we're sitting in this laundromat. We're all like hungover, exhausted from just go in Japan for a full week. And we're trying to figure out how to actually use the laundry machine, and like nothing is making sense. We all have like the Google app that will translate everything as you go, and we're just sweaty and gross and dirty. And this laundromat is using coins, and you have to like buy all like the different ingredients, like all the soap and everything separately. And I think towards the end, what we actually did is just like wash our clothes with baking soda, because they all just smelled like baking soda, and they didn't feel much cleaner. And it was this kind of like dingy, dark laundromat. And there's this girl playing with a rubber ball in the corner for hours.
What?
And she just keeps bouncing it and won't stop. And we're all like trying to like sleep in the laundromat essentially, because we're waiting for our clothes. We already checked to the hotel. We have nowhere to go. There was one of our friends who, it turned out he was pretty smart, but he's like, I'm not going to do laundry here. I'm going to wait until we get to the next Airbnb, and I'll just do it there. It'll be easier. So the whole time we were suffering, he's just like throwing jabs our way, and we're just like really frustrated because we just want clean clothes.
We were like tired, exhausted.
Yeah.
I was like sleeping in the hallway. I was like,
we're on like the verge of like cracking, and then over here he's just like relaxing. He's probably like eating like an onigiri, just like a smug look on his face. So we finally get to the next place, and then we go out that night, and he's like. He's thinking, oh, okay, I'll just do laundry, and then we'll go out and like fly the next day to Hong Kong. So we come back from the club, and he starts trying to like do his laundry, and I'm pretty hammered, and I'm still upset about the earlier that day, right? So he's trying to do the laundry, and his clothes just go in like the full cycle. They're starting to get washed, and I unplug it from the back. And pretended like the thing wasn't working, and his clothes are mid-soak. So he comes out, and I'm pretending to troubleshoot it with him.
You committed to the bit.
For like 15-20 minutes, I'm like pretending to help him out with it. I'm like, oh, we just gotta press this and this and this. And I'm already drunk, and then I kind of just wander off and like forgot about it. He never fixed it, so he had to bring his luggage full of wet clothes on an airplane and fly to another country.
Were you intending to not fix it?
No, I don't think I intended to not fix it, but in the end, that's what happened.
You're like, well, good night.
I remember he just like, Ivan, look what I did. He just unplugged the laundry machine. I was like,
oh.
And then did you say anything?
I mean, I said something after.
He said it later. You're like, you know why the laundry machine wasn't? He's like, why? He's like, because I unplugged it. He's like, you're an asshole. But this guy got karma. He the same time we were in Japan, as we were panicking leaving, I remember he was trying to brush his teeth, and he's stepping around. He's like, It's like, oh, what's hurting my feet? Who cut their toenails here? And it's like in the tatami mat, it's like, oh, these are my toenails. Like, Sean.
Your own toenails?
Yeah, I was just walking around. I think there was
You
also
stepped on your own toothbrush.
there was also no, I think someone stepped on. I like put my toothbrush on my luggage so that when I came in, I could just go. And then I found that someone had stepped on my toothbrush.
It was the guy who you unplugged the laundry machine. And he was like, "That's what you get." That was the karma.
Okay.
Oh,
There's a lot of karma with that whole trip.
Yeah.
There's that. Yeah.
Dude, having to travel with your clothes being soaking wet, I would kill
Imagine if like the luggage was overweight from all the water and you had to pay like extra because you can't bring it.
Imagine like the TSA they did like a surprise search of his luggage. And it was like,
Sir, why is this so wet?
Why is everything soaked?
Oh, that's actually so funny.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I think about that every day. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's your Roman Empire
Yeah,
right there.
exactly. Do you have one? Top of mind?
I'm trying to like think about it, but I realized like a lot of my early onset, just who I was just always petty. Like,
You're like, pick a day. I got
I was
stories.
I lived off of someone's like, you can't do this. Like, watch me.
Oh man.
Watch this.
Okay, yeah, that's my petty story. Is someone telling me that like it wouldn't go my way, and I was like,
Yeah.
watch this. Give me 3 seconds. But it was my like university ex. Would have like university bar nights or whatever. So we were all out, and like everyone in the bar, like you're going to school with and whatever. So I think we had just broken up, or not just, but like we were a few months out or whatever, and we're pretending to be friends, and it's not working, and there's like all this like tension and all this like slight hatred towards each other, but also still like an endearing, I don't know, whatever you call it. Anyway, it just so happened that like a lot of this guy's friends would like try and hit on me, but I would never say anything. Like I would just be like, no, but I wouldn't like rat them out because whatever, that's not my problem.
Did they hit on you during or after?
After.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's still
after.
pretty scummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like pretty close friends. Like there was like quite a few of them where I was like, okay, interesting choice. Anyways, there was one who I would say was like not even really a close friend, so I was like, whatever, that's a pass. But he made it like quite known that he was like into me. And I remember my ex coming up to me at this bar night being like, oh yeah, like this guy is super into you, but he's like such a good friend of mine, he would never. And I was like, he would never. He would never go there. Like, yeah, he would never. I was like, okay. I literally just walked over there and started making out with him on the spot. I was like,
That's a power move.
and he did, obviously. Like it was the worst makeout I've ever had in my entire life. So that was like a bit karmic on my end, but also like be FFR, like be so for real that this guy is now just gonna start making out with me because he's homies with you. Please.
That's crazy. That was a test and I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
That's like a movie scene.
No, I did it, and then I was like, okay, well, bye. And then he was texting me being like, want to meet up? And I was like, no. Sorry. I was just trying to, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like, what did his homie expect? Like, Sam walks and makes up. He's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Be gone, wench.
I could never.
I could never.
No. Don't you know I'm homies with that guy? Like,
God.
like you're insane. Yeah.
What if he just went? He's like, oh, that was the worst kiss I've ever got.
If you got rejected
Imagine?
from that and he like shoved you
I
off,
would
you
literally
would've-
have to move countries.
Yeah.
I think. Like,
Yeah.
I think I would have to, because he was also like, not my type.
He goes back and like fist bumps your ex. He's like, I got you, bro.
Yeah, he's like, hey.
That's tough.
Don't worry. Yeah.
That was confident.
And that was also very out of character for me. But
Yeah, you need to be sure of
yeah,
yourself
exactly.
to do that
I
one.
was like,
Yeah.
and I must have had some drinks in me. Like I was feeling sure and
Confident.
confident.
It was
yeah.
Pam.
It was Pam. It was Pam.
Yeah.
It's only her that does things like that.
It's not like any guy would take a kiss from any girl. And not to say like it's like you know what I mean. Like even if you're an attractive girl, if he's just not down, he's not down. But I guess you kind of knew.
But it was also like that setting where we're all
Yeah.
drinking, we're all like out.
But that'd be crazy if you got
Dude,
rejected.
yeah. Dude, if he was just like, oh,
Oh.
I'd be like, oh, so sorry.
I was
I was just,
your hair.
I was trying to kiss that guy.
I thought you were somebody else.
You were in the way.
I'm gonna whisper something in your ear. That's tough. Yeah, I don't. I guess I don't think it's. I don't think I really had anything petty, but same thing. Just someone telling me I can't do something. I remember it was at the gym, and your Kath was like, "Oh, I bet you can't get that girl's number over there," because I think she saw, because I mentioned like, "Oh, she's kind of cute," and she's like, "Bet you couldn't," but I already talked to her before. Like, I was already like acquainted with her.
So you already knew you could win the bet.
Yeah. And like it would, like, I could just go get her number as like a friend thing, right? It was, so then Cass was like, "I bet you could." I was like, "I bet I could." He's like, "I bet you would drink at Cactus Club." Like, say less.
I'm getting a free drink.
Yeah, I just walked out, I was like, "Hey, yeah, so anyway, so me and our mutual friends, like, we should hang out sometime. Yeah, what's your number? I'll set it up." He's like, "Oh yeah, cool. I'm like, thanks." I walk back, Cass like, "Wow, that was so smooth." I'm like, yeah.
Hey,
Don't ever question my game again. But I can't think of any other time.
Yeah, that's not really petty.
I remember one thing
like,
you did. I don't know if this was petty or competitive, but I remember when we played rugby, you were front row in the scrum, and you would just beat the heck out of someone's face, essentially.
What do you mean face?
It was like, okay, in rugby, if you're in the scrum, there's like the two big dudes, and then I was like, no, there's props and there's seconds, and I was second, so I'm tucked behind the two big dudes.
Yeah, so it's two triangles of people that are just pushing against each other.
And we're trying to fight for this ball, right? But like where I'm situated, I could, if I whip my head back really hard, I can hit, like, so in the middle, each team has a hooker. Mm-hmm. So that's the guy who's trying to hook the ball. So if I whip my head really hard, I could hit the other person's hooker. And it was like, I think it was more competitive than petty, but we were on a tear.
Yeah.
I was like, we're coming out of our district number 1. I'll do whatever it takes. And so we would be in there, and I kept whipping my head back, and this guy would come out of the scrum dazed. Like, they would lose the ball. Dazed.
He's like, whoa.
He's like red in the face. He looks like he just got punched a couple times.
Because I was going like back.
Oh my
He's reverse headbanging the guy's face.
Oh my god.
And then it'd be like probably after five of those, they call a timeout, and the guy was just like,
this guy's
headbutting me. And then our coach is like, and it's funny because he was like,
that was a mistake. I was just looking up.
He's like Greek, I guess.
Yeah, he's like this big Greek guy.
And he's like such a old, I don't know how to describe it, but he'd call you like, "Hey boy." So like, "Hey boy, you headbutt in the scrum." I'm like, no sir.
No.
He was like, "All right." We win. And the other guy's like, it's like, "Are you sure?
Are you sure? Maybe check a little bit better."
And everyone knew. Cause like,
oh yeah,
you could see,
you couldn't hide it. The guy's face had like welts on it.
That's pretty bad.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if that's petty either. If you're just fucking.
I don't know. I think we like didn't like that team. They were like one of the top teams, and we were just trying to really get any advantage over them that we could.
Yeah. We were grade 8 too. We were young.
Yeah.
I love how you can just say like one word and we're like, oh yeah, that. You're like rugby, and you're like, oh.
There's a lot of memories. Okay?
I said laundry in Japan, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Is there any trigger words?
Yeah,
As you
yeah.
get older, there's too much in here now.
Wait, what's that game where you just have to say one word?
Monikers?
Yeah. That's why we're so good at it, you know?
No, I just remember everything.
Did you see Oprah's friend?
Oprah's my friend Gail.
Did you see that game that I sent you? That's like, it's charades but just sounds. But you can't say words.
Oh, that sounds.
So it's
fun.
like trumpet.
I think I saw that, and you like can't use your hands. Or something like that. Yeah.
No acting, no words, only sounds or like sound effects.
Damn. So what if someone's like gopher?
We could definitely play that with just like writing our own.
Yeah. That's true.
Okay. Next time.
Next time we'll get there. But yeah, I'm sure there's petty. It's not coming to my head.
Wait, that'd be a funny segment on the podcast.
Yeah, trying to act out the noise of a gopher.
But what if the words are like basketball?
Like you kind of make the like the.
No, what's that? What's that High School Musical?
Swish?
Yeah, you know.
I know
You would know. Okay. My next one. What's your most embarrassing story?
Oh.
I got 2, so I'll start. I have one that's like wholesome. You were a kid, and then one where I was just like super intoxicated. But I'll move through quickly because I have a job. Anyway, the first one, I don't know if I've told the story to you guys already, but like I was on like a cruise. You know, cruises have like teen clubs where you can go like hang out with other kids that are on the cruise. Yeah. So I was in this teen club. So we were probably all like maybe 15 around that age, 14, I don't know. Anyway, and on the last day of the cruise, it's like there's like formal nights on cruises. So you like go to dinner and you're all dressed up and whatever. So I'm wearing this like cute little like sweetheart neckline, very circa 2009, where it's like a high-low chiffon dress, you know, one of those, right? And it's like a teal. I'm like feeling myself. I'm like, I'm the prettiest person on this boat. Like I'm so
Disney Channel outfit.
Like Hannah Montana's closet.
Exactly. So I like come in to the teen club and I'm like kind of late, whatever. Had dinner with my parents, and everyone like turns and like looks at me, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm fulfilling my...
I think she's the main character.
No, I literally was like, oh my god, you don't have to stare. Like, I'll tell you where this dress is from. It's from fucking Winter. Like, you know, like I was feeling like all eyes on me. I had like a crush in this club too. So I was like, oh my god, this is like the time. And then I like go and sit at like the fake bar that's there, because obviously there's no alcohol. But I'm like sitting at the bar, and some girl comes up to me and was like, I don't know how to tell you this, but like your underwear is glowing from the black light in this club. And I was like, thank you so much for telling me. And just got up and walked out. And honestly, I came back. Like, I changed and came back. But like, it was so humbling. Damn. Like, I was like, oh, I'm not the hottest person in the room.
This is a teen club on a boat? I would have jumped off the boat.
No, literally, I
would have come back to the club.
And like, this was a time where like I'm wearing granny panties. Like it's not like a cute little thong. Like, I'm wearing like the 25 pack from fucking Costco. Yeah, it was.
Damn.
Yeah. And I just like, I didn't have the heart to look down, so I have no idea how bright they were. Like I couldn't look.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, I've got secondary embarrassment for you.
Honestly, I think about it sometimes. I'm like, oh damn.
That's like a dream. That's like, you know, when people dream about like talking about a speech and their pants are down. That's just that, but IRL. Like everyone's.
I'm like dead sober too. Like it was just.
Could have rocked it.
And kids.
Could have been like.
Oh, it's kind of similar to recently when I was like walking around and I had swoob, like.
Under boob sweat.
Yeah. And again, I was like, oh my god, are people looking at me? Because I'm like.
They're like, why is this girl sweating?
No, and I like so legit get home and it's just like fucking huge pools of sweat under my boobs, and I couldn't see it because it was under. So I would like look down and like make sure everything was okay, and it seemed okay because I was like braless. Like I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go out wear my little tank top, and it was hot that day. And I walked the city. I was like all around. I went I was in the grocery store.
I think people could tell you were walking.
Yeah, I know.
Marching.
And then I was like, oh, I haven't worn this tank top in a long time. Like. Maybe like I was like, oh, it's kind of flattering when I put it on. Yeah, no, it was like a nude color, and then it was just a lot of swoob going on.
The armpits.
And then I got home and I have a mirror right in front of my door, so I like opened the door and was like, oh, how long has that been there? Did that just appear right now?
That's rough.
Could you not feel it though? I feel like.
I could, like, I felt sweaty, but that's why I kept looking down and being like, oh.
Oh, but you couldn't see it.
I couldn't see it.
Underneath.
Yeah. So I was like, oh,
okay,
like, it's probably just like, it feels sweaty, but it's not showing through for some reason. Or maybe it's like loose enough there. Yeah. Not loose enough. And then my most embarrassing drunk story is I got really drunk and I sat in a urinal in front of everyone waiting for the washroom.
Like by choice, or you fell?
No, it's choice.
Yeah.
I really wanted to sit down.
That's a choice.
Honestly, I probably, if somebody didn't come in and like be like, ma'am, you have to leave the premises because you're so drunk, I probably would have like urinated with my pants on and everything. Because I didn't take off my pants. Okay. I just sat in the urinal.
Damn.
And then like
that's a choice.
And then like the like paramedic people came in and was like, hey, your friends are looking for you. Are you Sam? I was like, yeah. And the worst part too is like, whatever, you do dumb shit when you're drunk, but like it was all the people just standing in line to go to the women's bathroom, and I had just like come in, and it seemed like it was just like a big opening, like it was a spectacle with like fluorescent lighting, and I just like go, and I remember like about to sit down and I heard people be like, oh no. And I was like, oops.
Why does it sound, was this a celebs?
No, it's Ray Shremmerd.
Wait. I was like, this sounds familiar. I feel like I was
You were there.
I was there.
And it was at the beginning of the night. Like, I was in bed before midnight. Like, I didn't see a single, which was for the best, because I would have died that night. So
Yeah. Actually, that was a hectic night.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that, and then you drooling on the side of
Oh yeah,
our friend's
one of our
car.
friends came. So I was like outside, draped, like on the floor. It was like cold. My other friend had given me his t-shirt and whatever because I was obviously just wearing like a little clubbing top. And I remember another friend who had not come out with us that night came to pick us up. And I remember like looking up and the shadow of him coming, it felt like Jesus was coming to save me. It's like the light was behind him. So just his silhouette was coming and like picked me up to bring me in the car. And I was like, oh, Jesus is here. And I never got that drunk ever again.
Yeah. That was a night.
Yeah,
that was a night.
No.
Yeah. And then, that was the universe saving me because then our entire group got into a giant fight.
Yeah.
Not the group's fault, but
It was Ray Shremmerd's fault. It was too
too
much
angsty.
angsty.
Yeah.
So much angst.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think after some deliberation, I think one would probably be, I don't know why it keeps coming to my head. It's when we're in high school, and then the girl that I took to prom, I was super close with, so it was very like they would just call us like high school husband-wife duo, even though it was like super platonic.
Like a work wife.
Yeah, pretty much my work wife. So then it'd be like, whatever, we're chilling, like very comfortable with like physicality with each other. So I remember I just like, there's some secret that she knew that like, I was like, yo, I need to know this. And I was walking through the hallway and for some reason in my head, I was like,
No.
she was wearing this top thing. That has to be her. And so I ran up behind her, and I remember I grabbed her by, she was like, yo, tell me. Like it was like a shake. It wasn't like I was like, yo, tell me, you have to. It's too juicy. And this person was like, oh my God.
You're big, dude.
I was huge. I've always been a big dude. So like I shook the living like shit out of this girl. And like I was like, tell me.
Her head is like just like
and like all I see is like the back of her. She's like, oh, and she turns around and like she's like, and
You
it
don't
was
even know
not
her
my
at
friend.
all.
It was a totally another girl.
Did you know her?
Okay, yes I did because we're in the same grade. But like I wasn't tight with her. It was very
Oh,
like
that's
it was one of those
just-
words like, yeah, I know who she is because we've been seeing. But she turned and our friend who was watching, he's died. He's on the floor. And the other girl's Japanese. She was like, it was like Godzilla attacking her. He's like, this girl's like, I'm not her. I was like, I'm so sorry. I shook the living shit out. I was like, oh.
Imagine you like are fucking like slamming her in the fucking lockers, like,
"Tell
tell me the secret.
I know. And the worst thing was like later I saw my friend who I was like yo, like that I thought it was. And she wasn't even wearing the same top. It was like one was brown, one was gray. And I was like,
Oh my.
I rooked it pretty hard.
Yeah,
That's so good.
that's so funny.
Yeah. So I was like pretty embarrassing. And then it's that or my whole neighborhood seeing me get dragged out of Catherine's car from ACM.
See, there's always one intoxicated one, you know?
Yeah, it was for everyone. There's an event at UBC. It's like called Greek Christmas. It's like the end of exams, pretty much.
Yeah,
right?
it's the last day of school.
Is it the last day of school? Oh, it is. Yeah. And it's just you drink from crack ass dawn to the next day into like an actual event called Block Party, and I don't know, we just got a little excited. We get in the car in the morning. Sam was in the story. I was just a friend. So with our other three friends that aren't part of a brotherhood
Greek
or
system,
sisterhood,
yeah.
we were like, we got friends in there. So we got her in, but we would have to drive there first while they drank at like 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So we start the morning. No one eats breakfast. And it's me and our other friend who's just, he's a little special, but he's always down. And for some reason, we decided let's split one bottle of Crown Royal between all of us. And obviously Kath is driving, so she can't drink.
Mm-hmm.
But we're just drinking in this car. And for some reason, we forgot halfway through this drive, our friend Gordon, he was like, hey, can I have the bottle? We're like, oh yeah, we're sharing this. We pass it back to him. It was probably more than half done. He's like, what the hell, guys?
On the car ride.
The car ride.
Haven't even gotten to the event. Like, that's crazy.
We're on the way. And it's probably like 10 a.m. No breakfast. Actually, no, we had Catherine's naan bread that she had in the Ziploc bag. And we're all like, yo, give me a slice of that. Give me a slice.
This is sustenance.
Yeah.
Oh my
The
God.
naan bread Ziploc bag is key for the story, guys. Remember
Oh,
this.
no. I already know where this is going.
So anyways, I didn't realize I'm lit. I'm plastered. It's gone. It's like, it was a sunny day, so the heat was blasting. I don't remember exactly when I died, but we were in the square, and then it was like fragments of memory. It would be like, I'm on the grass. I lay down on the grass. And then I wake up, and I'm like, I'm in Catherine's car, and I'm in like the student parking. And someone's like, hey, you can't leave your drunk friend in the car like that. It's irresponsible. And I'm like...
It's like a dog in the car.
Yeah. No, that's what they said. Cat's like, we cracked the window for him. And he's like, he's fine. He's like, I don't think you should do that.
I'm dead.
And I remember everyone's looking for Vince Staples at 5 o'clock. And I think at this point, it was about like 3:30. And so the drive back from UBC back to mine was probably like 4 to 5 minutes. And it's like, you got to do it an hour later.
Yeah.
So
Rush hour.
It was like a group decision between the four of us. They're like, I think we gotta take Ivan home. Like, he's not.
Did they come back after?
Yes, they drove back.
Yeah.
Also a very hectic story because it's just somehow everything worked out.
Okay.
But anyways, apparently car ride back, I'm like leaning on Vince, our friend, and I'm just like, where are we? What's happening? They're like, you died. We're taking you back. Did I make the Vince Staples? They're like, you definitely didn't. We're trying to get to Vince Staples by dropping you off. Like, oh, okay. And then after that, I remember I had to throw up. And Kat's like, no, don't throw. He passed me the little sandwich Ziploc
No.
Ew. In there.
It being clear is like the grossest thing I've ever. Oh,
Vincent's like, also look, he's holding me, and I puke. I'm like, oh my God. They're like, Abby, you gotta stop or it's gonna overflow. So they like quickly zip it and just rolls down the window, yeets it out of the car, and it splatters. And he tells me that he's like, he just zipped it and I just stopped, but a little bit of puke got on his shirt.
Oh my God.
So he got nauseous from it, so he had to throw up. So he just leaned over outside, threw up, took his shirt off, and in the back of the car, it was just me and Vincent both just. I'm like covered in puke. He's shirtless. We're just laying in the back.
Wait, that reminds me of the time that you got so drunk you were sitting on the ground and like leaning over like this to puke to the side, but he like was puking basically on his hands. And there was like something going on where he was just like so emotional. He would puke on his hands, and I was sitting next to him like trying to help, hold his hair back, do the thing, and he'd be like, oh, grabs my shirt and is like, Sam. I'm like,
I really got a lot of puke stories.
He was like, grab me. I was like, no.
Like this.
Stop. I just remember like being driven home, being like, there's fucking puke all over my fucking shirt. Oh damn.
Good times. Yeah, we get back to my house, and then it's like 4:30.
Yeah,
on like broad daylight.
People are like getting home from work.
Yeah. It's like a Friday, and then like I'm gone at this point, but apparently all my neighbors saw, like apparently when they opened, there's a Snapchat of it, someone like opened the door, like Kokanee cans are falling out of the car. I'm like getting dragged out. My neighbor was like, Ivan, is that you?
Oh no.
they're like, yeah, he's a little intoxicated.
He's fine. Just a little tired.
Even worse, turns out that I lost my keys. So I couldn't get in, but luckily at the time I was housing my Vietnamese cousin, and he was just at home. So we had to drag me into my backyard area through the bushes. Vincent shirtless knocking on the door, opening up. My cousin's pho Vietnamese, doesn't speak a lick of English. Vincent, who should be Vietnamese, doesn't speak any Vietnamese at all. And this guy's like, I'm friend. He's sick. And imagine like being my cousin, seeing this shirtless dude carrying your cousin. I'm half dead. He's like, okay,
thank you.
Yeah.
That's so
But it's like
funny.
the whole neighborhood saw me getting my ass dragged through.
Damn.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. But going with the puke story, I don't know why that triggered something. I remember I was so lit in the club. It was at Harbor, and I was so drunk, and someone puked outside in the smokers area on the bench, and I guess our friend Victor was sitting next to it. Oh no, he was standing. And I was like, oh, Victor, there's a seat. I slid into it. I sat in there, and apparently I was like so drunk. I was like, Victor, come sit next to me. I was patting the puke, and everyone was looking at me, and Victor's like, I don't know you. I don't know you. Get away. And I was like, why?
You're just like, Gianna's like,
I was like, and I got up. I was like, Victor, what's
No!
wrong? And he was,
what's wrong with you? Why
I
do
was
you
a
have
menace back then. I was a menace. And like, Victor's a big boy. I've never seen him run so fast. He's like, barely was running. I was like, what's wrong, Victor? And then when it came to
Ew.
consciousness, I realized I was
You're
like,
hey, where'd this come from?
I'm in someone's puke right now. Yeah.
Damn.
So that's
How am I gonna live up to these stories?
Yeah, Sean, take us
I
home.
actually have like another puke story first because
Okay.
this one really adds to it. There was one time it was my friend's birthday and we were going out for Korean barbecue. So it was a big group of us, and we had one of those booths where you have to like slide out one side, and then everyone's like trapped, and there's a wall on the other side, right? So he's the furthest in against the wall. It's his birthday, so we're all like getting him. We're like, oh, like drink, and we get him to like chug his beer. So something doesn't go down right.
That's the worst.
And he ends up throwing up, but the puke is now on the Korean barbecue grill. And he goes, shh. So the puke is cooking. It's like regurgitated meat that is now searing. And we're towards the end of the meal, right? So we're like, we have to bounce right now.
Yeah, can you imagine? Like, they come and you're like, we're done.
But it's
Can we get the bill?
it's a large group of us, and they're trying to figure out how they're splitting the bill. And we try to turn it off, and like the knob breaks, so now we can't turn it off. So we're stuck
ablaze.
in. Puke is just cooking on the grill, and we're all just like, no one wants to like really like touch it and try to like get
Was
it
it a
off.
lot?
It's a good amount.
It was like he puked into like a tall sleeve of like a Sapporo cup, but it overflowed and then it fell
That's
into
a
the
lot.
It was a
Yeah.
lot of puke.
Yeah.
Ew.
So, and we were just like,
Does
we're
the
like, we gotta
cooking
bounce.
help the
We gotta
smell
bounce.
or not?
No. Imagine if like.
No, I
it's-
don't wanna
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah. It's
No.
just really wafting.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a lot. It was a lot.
So then, did you see any of the workers see that there's puke everywhere?
We felt so bad. We all like tipped like
Yeah,
a
we
good
felt
amount
bad.
because we were so embarrassed and felt bad, and we just like got our bills and settled up as fast as we could,
Yeah.
and we just ran, and we're just like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Did they say they were like? What?
No, I don't think they were. We were gone before they
Okay,
said anything.
okay.
Yeah, we felt really bad. It was rough.
I feel like all your gangster
That's
stories,
crazy.
you were like, you're intoxicated, so you don't remember them. But like, you remember the time you punched our friend in the gut? Actually, there's two times you punched. One time you punched our friend in the gut so hard you tried to gaslight our friend that he punched her.
Yeah.
Okay, context.
That's pretty embarrassing.
Context. Okay, that's also really embarrassing. Context. I was just like dancing, I'm having a good time, and it's my friend's birthday, and I'm with her, and I think we went to the
this is a
bar
different story, but this is
to
a good
grab
one
a
too.
drink. So I'm dancing, and then someone calls me, and I turn around, and I accidentally like sucker punch her, and then I didn't notice, and I'm talking to my other friend, and then another friend comes up and sees that she is in pain because she just got punched, and then the friend was like, Sean, did you just punch her? And I'm like, no, I didn't. And I thought, because I saw her face, I assumed that the other friend who had like called for my attention punched her. So I'm like, he must have done it. So I'm like, yeah, like he did it. What are you talking about? And it's just a very confusing.
Stupid.
Everyone, it's like a who's who situation.
So
and she's
dumb.
just like,
Dude.
And our friend was drinking. He's like, maybe I did punch her.
He started to believe it. He
You
started to believe
gaslighting
it.
the shit out of it.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. That was number one, and then number two, it was our other friend's birthday.
Okay, there's actually another
There's
story. This one's
layers.
even funnier. So
Okay, also context, Sean's dancing is like violent.
Yeah,
you should stay like a 5 meter.
there's like fists and elbows just flying around.
No one's
like
we're
fast,
not safe. It's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was this one. I was so embarrassed I almost died. So I'm like dancing, and it's kind of near the stage, and I'm not paying attention, and some girl walks in front of me, and I accidentally like hit her in the face. And I'm just like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, no, I'm okay. And she walks away after, I apologize. And then years later, my friend starts dating this girl, and he wants to introduce everyone in the group to her. So she comes up, and she's like saying hi to everyone, and she looks at me, and she's like, you're that guy who punched me in the face in the club. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
So sorry.
So
was
yeah,
that me?
I wanted to like go into a shell and just disappear. That was really bad.
Yeah, maybe we pick new dance moves.
Yeah.
Sean had a year where he was punching.
My spatial awareness was just not
Why
there.
did they have to be girls too?
I don't know.
It just always accidentally helped it that way.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
poor
he's
track
just too
record.
into it.
Yeah. I was just feeling the music.
Yeah.
And then I'm like that's not music.
Like, hold on a second, I felt something.
It was our other friend's birthday. He punched her in the face, and she's like, "Oh my God!" And there's like a bunch of dudes like, "Are you okay? We can take care of him." She's like, "No, he's my friend. He's just really drunk." I'm like,
That reminds me of my ex was a big flincher in the middle of the night. And I feel like most guys
Like twitcher?
twitch in their sleep. So I'm like, that's normal. But he took it to the next level by I don't know what he was dreaming about. He'd be sleeping and I would just be sleeping. Let's say we're both facing one way. And he would just boom, bonk me right on the side of the head. I'm like, the fuck? Imagine me on my pillow and he's just not moving at all. And out of nowhere, it's just doom. I'm like, hello? What the fuck was that? What? You just, and he'd be sleeping. I'd be like, you just bonked me on the head. And he's like, no, I didn't. No, you did. You really did. There's another time where he elbowed me in the face. And I was like, oh, you're lucky we're horizontal and you didn't get too much leverage going or else that would have broken my nose.
What if he was aware the whole time?
He's like, I think she's sleeping.
You gotta fight that night. He's like, I'm gonna blame it on my sleep twitches.
I don't know. I was like, this is a very specific movement. What were you doing?
You guys heard the people's elbow. He gets up.
This is for not doing the dishes.
I was sleepwalking.
Okay, great. All right.
I actually have another embarrassing story.
Please.
This one was when I was still in high school and I had to do my work experience. They make you do work experience to go out into the field in high school. So I was working at Science World. Science World is just in Vancouver. It's a big science exhibit, mostly meant for kids, and there's interactive exhibits. So I was volunteering there, and I remember going in and I was volunteer. I was trying to meet the volunteer group, and I just entered the building and I was walking towards the people that were running it. And this kid, this toddler, full on sprints, and he's small. He full on sprints, and his head smacks my knee, and he just falls on the ground and just starts crying so violently, I had just hit him or something like that, and he's just on the ground clutching his head. And that's when all the actual people who work there and run everything, they come up and they're looking at me like I just hit this kid, and I had to explain. I'm like, no, he ran into my knee, and I was just, and then afterward, when everything was fine, they got the parents, and they're like, okay, who are you? And I'm like, I'm supposed to work here. I was
this is
oh
my first day.
It's a kid
you need me in the head.
No, he was running. He wasn't looking where he was going, and he just full on sprints, and yeah, it was bad. He was just crying. He couldn't even speak. He was just crying.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
in pain.
It was I think I'm gonna go.
That's the worst. Have you ever held someone's baby and they start crying, or you do something and you're like, oh my God, people are gonna think that I dropped it. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the worst. You're like, shh, stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
The second-hand embarrassment count, because I realized going through high school with this guy, I got so much secondhand embarrassment.
Okay. Yeah.
No, we'll save that for another. Next prompt, please.
that was it. I don't have any more prompts.
Next prompt, please.
There was like 2 instances.
No.
Dude.
No. We'll save that for another time. We'll save that for another
I
time.
need Sean's green light on this.
Yeah. You do not get the green light.
It was just I was like, why is this guy my friend?
Yeah, you do not get the green light.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
we'll all remember this and bring
We'll
it up
save
at
it
some
this time.
point.
For a special,
But you're
you know?
safe today.
Yeah. I made it through.
I'm like,
That was a hard no.
why is this man like this?
Okay, well,
Okay.
that was all the prompts I had. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Wow.
And they lasted over an hour. Of us
Okay,
talking
guys.
about 3 things. Well, I hope you got to know us a little bit more, and you don't hate us more than you did
Yeah.
before.
We're not bad people.
No, we've just lived lives, you know?
Yeah.
We've had
We
experience.
learned our lesson. Just don't drink.
That's true. All of our stories were like so long ago.
Yeah.
Like,
Actually, yeah.
we've been so
Yeah.
tame
like
for the past.
22, 23.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Yeah.
I identify as still 24, so like, I don't know.
Forever 21.
Sure. All right. Well, thanks so much for watching.
Yeah, thanks.
And we'll see you in the next one. Tell us your most embarrassing stories.
Yeah, tell us. And also,
Embarrassing.
if we get 50 likes, I will share the
Yeah,
story.
true.
Such a low bar, but
No,
you
our
know.
No,
average
we
likes-
get like 2.
We get like, 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, and right now, if we get 50, that means everyone who watched
Yeah.
liked it.
That's true.
Okay. We'll see.
On YouTube.
We'll
Because,
see.
yeah, Spotify,
Yeah.
we don't have that function.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you
I'm
want-
gonna
on
make
Spotify,
make 49 accounts.
like.
Like, Mom and Dad, can you like this video? Thanks. Okay, nice.
yes,
All right,
yes.
thanks, guys. See you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye. I want to know.